Hello, everyone. My name is Lori Meadows. I'm kind of giggly because, oh, this is just kind of nerve-wracking. So hopefully I do this right and you can all gain some really awesome perspective on this cool career. So I was looking into mediation. It's something that's really prevalent where I live here in Eugene, Oregon, and very much so in Portland, pretty much Pacific Northwest as a whole. We have the Naval Academy in Washington, and so I know that's a really huge profile there as well with mediation and just servicemen and women and what their families are going through. So, with that said, let's get into this. Okay, so the example organization I chose was Mediate Everything. And it's really cool because they're all over the nation. I don't know if you guys noticed that when you were looking into it as well. But here in Beaverton, Oregon, through our actual governor's office, you can be a mediation coordinator. And what's really interesting is that even though I don't know someone personally in there, I have gone through a divorce, and it is required by law to go through some sort of mediation when you have children. And so it was really interesting to see that and have that first interaction with that kind of job. So a coordinator is essentially here in Oregon, I can at least attest to the class size or the team is a lot smaller than you would expect. The one that I was actually finding a job for, there was only 4 people on each team. So you'd only coordinate over a handful of people, which can be good and bad. So again, I don't know anyone in the career, but they all seem like lovely people. They all just want to help families, especially children. The working environment. So you're in the governor's office, but you actually travel a lot, which I thought was really cool and interesting. There's a lot of off-site meetings that require traveling to homes and all kinds of different situations. You are required to work the weekends, and you need to be able to be open in the evenings, which can be that can probably actually go with the stressors. But with that said, your time is very valuable to them, but they compensate it, and we'll get to those benefits later. Okay, thank you, Yahoo. Okay, typical stressors. So we talked about it a little bit with needing to be able to be free on the weekends. That's not very conducive with home life, especially as members with Sundays as our Sabbath. But some of the stressors can be how diverse the community is. And I'm not just saying with your team, but because of what they're focusing on specifically with the mediation, mediate everything. Okay, there you go. I'm so nervous, guys. I'm so sorry. You know, like you're nervous where it's like that stress sweat? Yeah, it's real cute. Okay, looking great over here. So the stressor would be you're working in a small building, in a small environment, and when you are actually out and about interacting with your community and the public, you have to maintain a hopeful attitude, a positive one. You need to be able to work with every type of diverse person you interact with. And there's going to be some language barriers. There's going to be poverty issues. There's going to be a lot of children that are homeless, including their families. And so that's going to affect their social aspects. It's going to affect so many things. And you just have to be that beacon of light and that positivity, especially as a coordinator. You know, you're not just simply doing mediation. You're organizing, and you're actually working with a lot of volunteers. They also, super cool, they provide these classes, these workshops, and there's about 30 of them annually. So that takes some pressure too. So here are the benefits. What's it worth? Well, we're actually helping people in our community. We're helping so many families and helping parents just parent better. There is retirement called PERS. I think we all can assume we know what PERS is, but if you don't, it is a fantastic retirement plan. They offer health, dental, vision, and life insurance coverage as well, which, with my 4 eyes, love that idea, that I don't have to pay for vision. There's also tuition reimbursement and loan forgiveness, and that's pretty fancy. Some of the common tasks for this particular job is to give quality education and give training and services to those mediators working with the families and the public. You have to be able to know and understand mediation, of course, and you need to have those management skills, because not only do you have your 4-person team, but you have the volunteers like I mentioned before. Educationally, you need to have a bachelor's degree. The associate's degree is only to show that you're in mediation. Even if you do have an associate's degree, they actually want 2 to 4 years, but primarily 4 years, to be able to restore that family system to something that's ideal and helps everyone. Oregon requires specifically 32 hours of basic mediation training, and then you have to have at least 12 educator hours of mediation. Starting salary, the numbers were kind of a joke. I don't know someone personally, but I have heard through the grapevine that as a mediator, you do not make that. Like $36 an hour would be fantastic, but let's be honest, it's probably more like a little under 20. And with our minimum wage, it's very high in Oregon, so it's kind of laughable after all of this experience what you would actually have to do. As I mentioned before, you're dealing with a lot of people who are varying in family origin stories and what their ethnicity is, and equality is very important, and having that equity and inclusion is super important. So if you're bilingual in Spanish, fantastic. That's wonderful. Here are my references. I hope you guys enjoyed this and have a good day.